We're on the road to the Daniel Boone house. Isn't this a cool house? This is the birthplace of Daniel Boone.
The Boone family lived here 20 years. They were here from 1730 until 1750. 1750, the Boones decided to leave this area. They sold their land, and actually Squire sold half of his farm to his brother Joseph, and this part of the farm, along with the house, to his cousin. His cousin was named William Mulgridge. And the Boone family left and moved to North Carolina. Now, people may ask, why in the world would you travel from here all the way to North Carolina in 1750? First of all, it's important to understand that the Boones were not just an isolated occurrence. The Boones were part of a very large migration from southeastern Pennsylvania to the west and to the south. And that's a migration that actually began in as early as the 1730s and actually continued through the Revolutionary War. And the reason for the move essentially had to do with land. Pennsylvania had a very restrictive land policy on land ownership, where you could buy land. At the same time, the colonies to the south had a very liberal land policy, and the land was relatively cheap. And so you had thousands of people going down the Shenandoah Valley, settling the Shenandoah and parallel valleys, and going as far south as the Carolinas as well. And that's where the Boones ended up, the Yadkin River Valley of North Carolina. Daniel was about 15 and a half years old when the family made the journey, so he had, again, spent his boyhood years here in Pennsylvania.
When British troops marched westward to fight French advances into the Ohio Valley, George Washington served with General Braddock as a major in the Virginia militia, and Daniel Boone served in a much lower capacity. Boone became friends with a man named John Finley. He was another member of the ill-fated Braddock's army. It was Finley who had previously been across the Appalachian Mountains and had seen the land known as Kentucky.
Say we were we'd fired our last shot in the rifle, and the resistance was heavy.
Boone and Finley became friends.
And then it was the knife and the tomahawk that we had to use.
Although they were officially prohibited from crossing the Appalachian Mountains by British colonial rule,
sometimes we threw them on the run.
It was only a matter of time before the two of them would explore Kentucky together. Their initial journeys took them as far west as present-day Louisville. It was in 1769 that Daniel Boone was captured by Shawnee Indians and taken through present-day Ohio. He finally escaped, but it was 2 years before he returned home to his family in North Carolina. The reason we are providing all this information about Daniel Boone is because he actually used the same trail where the Virginia Creeper is now located. There is another video clip to show the cycling trail known as the Virginia Creeper. Abingdon, Virginia dates back to the time when the Boone family first moved to this area. There are actually structures dating back to the time of Daniel Boone.
This was built in 1769.
Some buildings are still used in the same manner as in Boone's time. The other part of this segment is designed to show how products and raw materials were transported during that era. We know they had wagons, and yet they also made extensive use of the natural waterways. It is called the Batteau Festival. Batteau is a French word for a boat that was used to transport cargo up and down rivers. These were quite common in the late 1700s. Now they celebrate this event every year on the James River west of Richmond. People actually had to push these boats along.
On the Tombigbee River, so bright I was born, in a hut made of husk of the tall yellow corn. It was there that I first met my true love, and I rode her around in the gum tree canoe. Sing roll, away, roll, the water's so blue, like a feather will float in my gum tree canoe. Sing roll, away, roll, the water's so blue, like a feather.
We're taking a load back into Richmond. And the festival is for all those young men in the world that want to get out here and pole their boats down the river.
Eight days, 120 miles total. Each night you stop at a little river community. Last night in Scottsville, tonight Slate River. Go through Columbia and all sorts of other river communities, sleepy little towns. And each place people come out and see the boats.
Railroads. We were just talking about how this railroad track is built on an old canal towpath, and so how transportation seems to recycle itself over and over again.
I learned yesterday for the first time how to do the walking of the pole and pushing the batteaus along. And there's definitely a skill to it, and there's definitely an art to it. It gives you a lot of appreciation of the work that goes into moving the big boats, and the interactions. Each batteau is like a family.
Several reporters have ridden with us. The Lynchburg paper rode with us Saturday.
We had the Amherst Gazette fellow rode with us Sunday.
And she's gone for several days.
So blue, like a feather will float in